Alright, I'm going to show you a couple things about a Dodge valve body. One of the problems is you can't get the shifter out of park, or it's hard to pull out of park. So before we go after the valve body, we want to make sure that the park interlock is working, where you press the brakes to release park. So if that is all working right, you can pull the valve body off and check that the detent ball is not loose in its pocket. You can see that this one is very loose, so that'll cause it not to come out of park. It'll also cause your manual valve not to be positioned correctly. And a manual valve on the inside, you can see that when I move my shifter to the different positions, it has to line up in these lands to direct the oil properly. So an easy fix for this, I've been using them for a couple of years now. Tony Garson from Dunright developed it. You will first take the E-clip off, take the washer off. I would put a small rag over this so the pieces don't fly. You're going to pull this up. This should slide right off. Set that aside. We're going to take the detent ball and spring, and we're going to replace it with what we call a bullet. So we're going to set this aside. Set the bullet down for a second. I'm going to show you a couple things. When we go back together, this foot has to engage this valve right here, and this foot or leg has to be on the inside of that screw. It can't be on the outside of the screw. It has to be on the inside. So we'll put this back together. You can make yourself a little tool out of some 3/16 steel brake line. It'll need to be cut about 1 inch and 900 thousandths long. It's not real fussy. I'll lubricate my new bullet, install the new spring, install the bullet. There we go. Should sit in there easy like that when you have it installed right. Then we're going to take the tool, grab my hand so it doesn't slip. I'm going to push that in. Our tool will hold that in place like so. Again, make sure this is on the inside of the shoulder of the screw. We're going to line this up with our manual valve. Slide that down in. Set our seal aside for a second. We'll line up our rooster comb with the new bullet. We have this lined up for the manual valve. We have that shoulder in. We're just going to give this a push down into place like that. Put in our new seal. Washer. E-clip. Test this. Must work. It's going to have a little tension on it, but you have to operate it several times, make sure it works good. Now we can see how much tighter it is. It doesn't have that slop that it had before. We'll push it all the way to manual low, tip the valve body, get our tool out, and we can reinstall the valve body.